Oktarg, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was Dynamic Effort Bench Press Day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. Great workout. Now I noticed my speed's not quite as fast as I'd like on the wider grip on the Dynamic, but as I said last time, or the other day, I think I'm going to do more volume on speed benching. I'm going to keep with heavy bands. I'm only going to increase weight if I can keep the speed, keeping pace with it. And I'm more likely to add bands than I am more plates, to be honest, up to a certain threshold. And I'm just going to do like 4 sets of each grip so that we get my wider grip, which is just pinkies on the rings, a medium and a close, right? And right now I'm training both the normal grip and the close grip on my max effort days for rep work. And we're not going to do any other rep work for chest. I get a tremendous amount of chest pump and even sometimes DOMs from the speed work with bands. It's really all I need. I can focus on all my other peripheral muscles for the rest of the workout, which means my entire back, shoulder girdle, arms. And in fact, my workouts are getting a little more arm dominant because realistically, my torso just overshadows my arms, right? Way overshadows them. And for perspective, I'll get people who joke and say, oh, you have small arms. Actually, I have 18-inch arms. That's how big my torso is. Okay, I have 18-inch arms. So I need them to come up. Now I have bad insertions for genetics and I have long arms, right? My arms are never going to look big. I get them up to 20, they're not going to look big. Just accept that. Don't care, can't worry about it. But if I grow them and as I continue to get leaner and cut, they may look bigger. They'll never look bodybuilder quality. I don't have those genes. So, arm dominant though, because from a muscle mass perspective, I just need more arm overall. It'll help with my benching, help with my overall strength. I need it, especially having long arms because of the levers. So, with the speed benching, obviously though, we're hitting the chest from 3 different angles, right? And when we talk about hitting muscles from different angles, it doesn't mean we have to go up and down as far as incline and decline. Changing your grip widths. So just like I'm training my wider grip and my close grip on my max effort days for rep work. Same thing with the speed. We're hitting 3 different grips. This changes the range of motion, changes the angles, changes the involvement of the pectoral, right? Right? Hopefully people understand that. We covered some of that in the benching the other day of how different parts of the chest are worked through the different strength curve by the grip spacing. It gives us more complete chest development, broader strength base, and then we're hitting the speed from all these different things, different angles. So again, the name of the game here is compensatory acceleration, but because I've said before, for hypertrophy purposes, true speed work counts as about half reps. Half sets, I mean. So if I do 12 sets, it's about the equivalent of 6 sets for my pecs and my front delts. It's less for triceps. All right, because again, triceps, we say I'm pressing like this, count for maybe, again, half sets again. It's probably about 3 quality sets for my triceps is the equivalent of. Which is why we do skull crushers. But pull-ups and chin-ups, by the way, do work triceps, something a lot of people are not aware of. There's a reason pull-ups and chin-ups are phenomenal upper body builders. They just don't build the upper back as much as we would like for a back movement. That's the downside. They work everything else in the upper body better than they technically should. But back over to the speed benching, because this is a big chunk of the video. My speed benching is like 6 minutes of footage almost, or 5 minutes. 12 sets, it's a lot. My breaks are probably 30 seconds to 60 seconds between. I'm not timing it. I basically take off my wrist wraps, hit the button on the camera to stop it, take off my wrist wraps, take a few seconds, a little bit of a breather, wrap my wrist wraps back up, and return the camera on, right? Estimate, I don't know, 30 to 60 seconds. All 12 sets I completed in less than 12 minutes. To kind of put it in perspective, it took about 11 to 12 minutes, right, to do all the sets. And as you guys notice, though, my speed does get better as I bring the grip in more. Right, the speed does get better. One of the upsides, though, my shoulders feel great today. So I'm able to do pull-ups and chin-ups and all of these things without my shoulders hurting. And that's one thing I've noticed. The one movement that seems to still inflame my shoulders is overhead pressing. Okay, I do my dead hangs every day. I keep my shoulders, keep moving my shoulders. I do different stretches for my chest. Do little things just to work on shoulder mobility. The little things are minor, and people say, what do you do? Well, it's not consistent, because mobility work doesn't do as much as people think it does. I just try to keep them moving. I just find ways to move and stretch my shoulders. Different ways all the time, right? It's not consistent. There's probably about 8 different things I do, and I don't do them all every day. But shoulder health is improving. Of course, I still, when I get to the bottom of chin-ups and pull-ups, I actually will show you guys when I get to the very last chin-up rep, because I went into what is a dead hang for me, and it still doesn't look locked out. And again, people who saw my dead hang video will understand. That is where my joints go. Now, these are not quite locked at the bottom. The shoulders are. I'm actually taking my shoulders through it a little bit, where my scapula are coming apart at the bottom, right? But 3 sets of 8 with body weight, and then I did 3 sets of 8 on chin-ups too, and that's about as much as I can go without really swinging and cheating right now. Again, I'm 227 in the morning when I wake up, so we're 14 pounds into this cut. We're gonna get another 17 pounds down. I'm gonna go down to 210, and I'm gonna work on the pull-ups and chin-ups. You know, and again, I've been a lot stronger at these in the past, keeping in mind we've overcome an injury. I'm going to build them back up. Right now, though, I feel like body weight is adequate. I don't need to do them weighted. I weigh enough right now, and they're challenging enough, that getting my multiple sets in, every upper body workout, body weight is enough. I'm getting a tremendous lat pump. My arms are getting pumped, my biceps and my triceps, and I feel a lot of tricep. As I've said before on the pull-ups, I don't feel it as much on the chin-up. I feel more bicep. But I feel a lot of tricep. And again, keeping in mind, the long head of the tricep absolutely gets worked. Absolutely gets worked on chin-ups and pull-ups. If your volumes are high enough on those, that can handle a lot of your long head. JM presses, I really found my groove today, right? Last time I got easier reps. Here's the trick I found when I was taking the empty bar to mess with it. Here's the trick for me. People are like, wow, your form is so much better on these. It is so much better. Thank you for noticing. But it's to get really, really far away from the J-hooks. That is actually the secret, because I'm so scared, because I hit the J-hooks all the time on them, that's one reason I bring my elbows too low, because I'm hitting those J-hooks. So if I slide myself further down, I can just flow with it. And I can keep the elbows a lot higher. And again, I felt nothing but tricep on these today. Only tricep. It's exactly what we want. I kept having to add weight, because I went up, I'm like, well, since I got whatever the 15 with the 65 last time, the stricter form, let me go up 5 pounds. It was too easy with 12. So I went up to, you know, because I went up to 70 first, and it was too easy. Went up to 75, it was still a little too easy. So then I went up to 80. Now, keeping in mind, I was struggling once I got these in correct to even get reps with 65 just over a week ago. Went up to 80, 2 sets of 12. A little harder, but they still were clean and good. Feel like next time I come in, I can probably go up a little higher. We'll go up to 85, and I'll just do 3 straight sets with that. But again, finding my groove on the movement and keeping it flowing without really stopping much. Again, just that flow and a punch, just punching that weight up. And that was a big game changer for me. Just sliding the bench and everything down to where I'm really far away from the J-hooks. So basically, when I unrack that bar, it's basically not even at my eye level. It's pretty much above my head. My entire head, no part of my head is under the bar in the J-hooks. Makes a big difference. And it matters. For guys like me with the longer forearms, it's really a problem. Because a lot of you are like, well, it shouldn't be. I mean, you shouldn't be able to hit it that easy. It's like, I can. If I were to unrack it with, say, my eyebrows underneath the bar, I will hit the J-hooks on every rep. So that's a big key for me, is just learning to slide myself further down. Now, how that's going to add up if I try to ever go really heavy when I get strong on it like some of these beasts do, I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a thing to unrack it. Probably have to use my monolift. And we did 3 sets of 8 on chin-ups after that. And these were pretty challenging, right? I felt like on each one of these at 8, just like with the pull-ups, if I tried to get one more rep, it would be pretty cheaty. These are almost 0 reps in reserve for me. And again, I'm trying to come down faster so that I can get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Because again, my range of motion is not as good as a lot of people due to shoulder and elbows and stuff, and my elbows don't lock out the same, which we've covered many times and I've demonstrated. But it's funny, on the very last chin up, I actually dropped into what is a true dead hang for me. I let everything go and hung as far as I could go. I went to my fullest range of motion, and that will actually be my full range of motion. So you guys can get a laugh at it. It's on this last set here. When we get to the 8th rep, watch the last one I do. I actually drop into as far as my actual joints will allow. On the very last rep, right there, that one I paused on, that's my full range of motion. I can't go any further down. So just for reference, it puts into perspective, what a full rep is for me. We have different joints, we have different movement, and you learn to work with that as a lifter and an athlete. Then I did my snatch grip high pulls. I'm really hating these straps, by the way. I'm struggling with straps on these. Straps slip a lot. They end up rubbing my hands raw. And near the end of each set, I feel like I'm limited by the straps because they're slightly unrolling. I love the movement. It's just getting the grip correct can be difficult. And people will say, well, why is that? You should be able to easily handle those reps with that weight. Yeah, if I was rowing it. But that snatch grip matters. But we did 225 today, went up 10 pounds, got 3 sets of 10. And we've covered a lot in the past as to what a snatch grip high pull is and why we do it. One of the best shoulder builders you can possibly do. Yes, we intentionally do not go high. Again, this is how you avoid hurting your shoulders on some of these explosive movements like this. Right? Because there are a lot of people like, oh my God, that's a cheating upright row. Yes, it is. It is an upright row technically with leg drive. Right? We don't go very high, just to the lower chest. You turn your elbows out at the bottom of each rep, you lean forward, and you drive it up. This hammers all 3 heads of the delt and the upper trap extremely hard. And it has a huge amount of eccentric overload. And again, I've covered in the past for you guys what an actual eccentric overload is. This is an example. It's not doing slow negatives. So again, we come over to what are all the hypertrophy studies looking at negatives that show these benefits. It's from heavy eccentrics that you wouldn't be able to lift. It's not doing a slow eccentric. Bodybuilders come up with some stupid, goofy ass shit when they try to look at what studies say. But perfect example, and it works. Great shoulder mover. It's the only thing we do for shoulders for Mikey, my client Mikey, and he's got pretty big shoulders at this point. It's all we do for them. He's stronger at this than I am. Stronger at this than I am right now. I'll catch him. But again, the 3 sets of 10 went good. Then I do 3 sets of lateral raises to failure with the only pair of dumbbells I have. They're 25. After doing these, I can't do as many because I can get about 17 on the first set when I'm fresh. I can only get 15 reps each time. And how do I know it's failure? If you guys watch the last rep, I actually try another rep. It just stays at the bottom. It means I can't move the weight. I try to get one more rep and the weight doesn't move. I've been getting exactly 15 on every set. These are short breaks too, because this is the end of my workout. Single joint movement, we don't care that much about performance of saying, well, if I took 8 minutes after the snatch grip work instead of just 3 minutes, because I take 3 minutes to get all the plates changed around and come over and do these, I might be able to get 1 more rep, might be able to get 2 more reps. I might be able to get 17 on all the sets. But I'm going to add 20 minutes to my workout by doing that. At this point, we don't care. These are single joint exercises. It's not that important to get extreme performance. We just want to reach failure. That's it. If it was a bigger movement, we could be sacrificing gains by doing that. But here's the thing. Single joint exercises are never the primary builder. People have to stop looking at them that way. You will never get most of your size by doing these things. They have their place, and of course I'm doing 2 single joint movements today. I do this and I do some curls. They're not your primary movers. They're not your primary builders. They can't be. They don't have the ability to be. Your big movements put most of your size on. These are there to fill in the gaps. Right? And that is correct training. That's effective and efficient. And again, we don't go very high with these. Why? It's healthier for your shoulders. It's healthier for your shoulders. And if we're trying to work certain muscles, it's not even necessary. Again, the side delts aren't even working. If you go a lot higher than that, you're not really even working the side delts the same anymore. You're just basically using more front delt. And my front delts get plenty of work, and those still work the front delts. Then I did 3 sets of barbell curls with the straight bar. I am intentionally not going high with these. I'm pulling my elbows back and stopping up at the chest. Now, some people are going to say, why haven't you said that a higher curl activates another function of the bicep? Yes. However, there's also data out there that it can cause problems with your shoulder tendons, right? It is possible to create a type of impingement by doing too much of that. I've already dealt with a shoulder impingement. My shoulder health is important to me. Trying to maximize the last 0.5% of bicep at the expense of risking my shoulders isn't worth it. But I feel like adding a little bit of curling in would help with those chin-ups. And if the chin-ups are going to be used as a big mover, a little bit of extra curling at the end, since my biceps probably have a little bit of recovery left, not a bad idea to do some curls at the end. Again, just to make sure we've stimulated the biceps, maybe to help with my chin-ups and pull-ups a little bit. But again, I just need to take it to peak contraction, right? So if you look at the elbow is going through its full range of motion. The heavy weight is hit right there at the top, at the peak, and I don't try to use any rotation of the shoulder to go any higher. It's just not necessary for my goals. It's not worth it right now for me as far as the shoulder goes. So we're just doing this range of motion, which is the normal elbow range of motion, not taking the entire movement through its range of motion, but we are taking that one joint. And that's okay. But I'm really happy with today's workout, so I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.